Hello to all of you, and welcome back to Never Thirst Again. It is Thursday, everyone, and a beautiful rainy one at that. Now, it's a little late, but I hope you all enjoyed your Mother's Day weekend. Now, I have to say, this past Sunday was really sweet for us. Church, dinner, and time with family was well spent together. There was laughter, joy, and of course, most of all, the remembrance of the love that we have for our wonderful mothers. I celebrate that holiday so very wholeheartedly because I too am a mother, and there was once a time when I just couldn't understand the sacrifices that a mother makes. Now that I too am walking in those footsteps, let's just say I see things a lot differently these days. The amount of gratitude can never fully be described in one sitting because I recognize the wealth of experience and wisdom that comes through the women who have impacted me my whole life. My mother, my grandmother, my aunties, and now my beautiful in loves who have stood so courageously in the gap and have served as the best examples of what it means to exemplify the truth of womanhood, motherhood, and friendship. You know, for as long as I can remember, my mother and I have always had the absolute best relationship. Even now, we talk on the phone almost every day and share things that are special to both of us. Now, of course, there are those times when we're on the phone and we're talking about absolutely nothing, but that creates the quality time that we crave so much. My goodness, the lessons that I have learned from her over the years are completely unmatched. From the times that she spent cooking, cleaning, and dressing me for school, time spent running back and forth to all of my school pageants, plays, and even my graduations, to the time spent straightening my wedding veil or driving up to spend a few weeks with me after each of my children was born. I'm realizing more and more that a mother's work is never done. I remember when I was a little girl, sometimes my mother would pull out all of her makeup and all of her jewelry. Then she would just lay everything out all over the bed. She did this quite often whenever she was bored or if she just wanted to mess around with a few of her things to see what kind of beautiful perfection she could achieve. When she'd spread all of her stuff out on the bed, there was always so much to look at. And of course, little old me, I was always so mesmerized by the shiny costume jewelry. I remember this one day in particular. I watched as she sat down in front of the mirror and pulled her hair up into a tight bun just to get all of that long hair out of her face for a bit. Slowly, she started applying her makeup. She grabbed the mascara and lightly feathered through her long lashes. Then she grabbed the tiniest brush to sweep the prettiest olive green color across her eyelids. Once she had done this, she pulled out the reddest shade of lipstick I'd ever seen and gently slid it across her lips. She sealed everything up with a touch of blush on each of her cheeks, and then she pulled the pin out of her thick, long hair and let it swing below her shoulders. "What do you think?" she asked as she turned around and smiled at me. What did I think? Oh man, I remembered thinking to myself that my mom is the most amazing woman alive. She was beautiful, kind, and she knew me better than anyone in the world. That being said, she knew that I was also itching around to play in her makeup. Now, she'd let me play dress up with her jewelry every once in a while, but makeup, that was a different story. Anytime I'd asked to play with her lipstick, it was an automatic no. And then she'd proceed to tell me that I couldn't have any at all until I at least was 16. That meant, of course, I was waiting another 8 or 9 years. Interestingly enough, though, on this particular day, she picked up her tiny little brush and coated it with that same beautiful olive green colored eyeshadow. Come here, she said to me. I got up from the bed, still wearing about 8 of her necklaces and about 4 rings and earrings that were much too big for my young ears. She grabbed my chin with one hand, and then with the other hand, she gently brushed the eyeshadow across my eyes. She then reached for a clear lip gloss and opened it. She brushed it across my lips and told me to look in the mirror. It was a day that I still cherish to this day. The moment of looking into the mirror didn't jump out at me as a moment of being excited because I was wearing so many different things, right? I'd seen my mother wear all of those things in times past. Instead, when I stood beside her and looked at the two reflections in the mirror, a miniature me and an older version of what I really wanted to become, I remembered thinking to myself, one day I'll be as beautiful as the woman who sits beside me. I'll have her strength, her grace, her wisdom, and I'll look just like her. I hold on to that picture with each year that passes because the love and her presence has gotten me through so much. So on this day, though it may be a few days after Mother's Day, I pray that all of you remember your mothers and not just remember them on one day as the world has designated, but simply as a time of looking beyond her appearance and really seeing your mother for who she is, a hero. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much again for tuning in to Never Thirst Again. And remember, you can absolutely listen to every single podcast episode if you're logged into the www.neverthirstagain.net website. Or you can subscribe to Never Thirst Again through Spotify, Podbean, and a host of other platforms that will be listed in the description of this episode. Again, take care and God bless. I'll see you soon.